Continuously capturing, collating, curating, reviewing, and making sense of indicators of future change can be a complicated process, particularly as our world is subject to ever more radical and fast-paced developments. That's where FIBRES comes in. FIBRES is a versatile, flexible, and intuitive software solution for helping to capture, collate, curate, review, and make sense of drivers, trends, and other signals of future change. My previous video, there's a link at the top of the screen, describes how FIBRES has changed how I think about collating and reviewing and using foresight findings. In this video, I wanted to focus on using a particular function of the application, summaries, which are collections of findings that underpin a particular theme, in essence. To some extent, it's a very smart way to digitally cluster post-its on a flip chart with the help of AI. So I'm going to describe how I use summaries, but before I do that, just let me explain the basics. Individual foresight findings are the building blocks of the application. Each finding has a title, a representative image, a description, its peak impact, whether it's near, mid, or long term, the strength of the impact, whether it's low, medium, or high, and a radar category, in my case, society and social structures, technology and scientific, economy and enterprise, environment and climate change, political and geopolitics, and legal, regulatory, and ethical, and a level of uncertainty, whether the finding is expected, whether it's low uncertainty, medium, or high. We can then use the application's AI picks to link findings together, or we can introduce a manual link. Each finding is then plotted onto the radar chart, and we can zoom into and access the details of the findings we want to explore. Summaries allow us to make collections of findings from different categories. This is the part that's a bit like digitally clustering post-its on a flip chart under certain themes. Each collection has a title, a representative image, description, and again, we can use the application's AI picks to introduce a link, or we can create a manual link back to the core collection. Then we can use the network view to explore all the findings generally, as well as the findings that underpin each connection. I use this functionality in two ways. Firstly, to create collections of findings that relate to a theme I'm interested in tracking. For example, work and workplace. Not only can I see the collection and findings in the context of the whole of the network, but I can also select just the collection I'm interested in. Now I can easily see all the findings that underpin the work and workplace collection and explore the underlying findings in detail. Secondly, I create collections that include a range of scenarios about a particular topic and the underlying findings that support the scenarios. For example, within the network of findings and collections, we have human enhancement. Again, I can see the collection in the context of the overall network of findings, and I can focus on the specific collection. Here, you can see each of the 4 human enhancement scenarios I've developed. They are linked to each other as well as being connected to the core of the collection. But I've also collected a range of findings that relate to human enhancement and which support aspects of the scenarios I've developed. So, if you're looking for a digital software solution to help in the collaborative and continuous capture, collation, curation, review, and sense making of drivers, trends, and signals of future change, I can fully recommend FIBRES. You can find more about FIBRES on fibresonline.com. And in the meantime, if you want to know more about my use of the application or have a wider interest in my speaking topics, my horizon scanning and foresight research work, or my executive training programs, get in touch with me or see my website. steve@stevewells.uk is my email, stevewells.uk, the website.